Hi Yogis, welcome to a Yoga Flow class. I was looking through our video inventory on this channel and I realized that there weren't any shorter yoga practices. So this would be for those days when you just don't have a lot of time, you don't have time for a full hour practice. We'll try to keep this one shorter. So this will just be a traditional level 1 to more like a level 2 flow. For this you'll just need a couple of yoga blocks. So have those set up at the top of the mat and let's get started. So we'll start in a child's pose, please. Just take your knees wide, your big toes together, reach your arms forward, let the forehead rest down. And when I first come into a child's pose, the first one for the day, I like to just let myself shift a little bit into it, just very slowly letting the bones settle down, just finding a nice even symmetrical position, knowing that there will be asymmetries in the body. So this slight little shifting of the hips back and forth is just checking what's happening on the right side and the left side of the low back and the hips today. And then you'll settle yourself down into the pose and be still. Notice the breath filling laterally out into the side ribs. Take one more breath here. And lift up the head. Walk the hands over to the right at a diagonal. Stack your left hand on top of the right, interlace the fingers. Push the right hand down and then let the head rest down between the arms. So the arms are reaching out at a diagonal over to the right, and you're pinning the right hand down in order to get more length through the outer left arm and the left ribs. You're sending your outer left hip back. Still breathing smooth and even through the nose. And then lift your head, release your left hand, walk it over at a diagonal to the left. Let's stack the right hand on top of the left. Pin the left hand down, let the head rest between the arms, and send your outer right hip back. Feel as if your right arm is getting longer here. Release your hands, walk your hands towards the front of the mat, rise on up to all fours. Curl your toes under. Start to move through your cat-cow, arching on the inhale and rounding on the exhale. If you want to add a little bit more movement to this here, you can. You can close your eyes, let the body move how it wants to move. If you want to move more in a circular movement on hands and knees, then that's fine too. Whatever feels nice for you. Let the body just guide you how it needs you to move right now. But whatever you're doing, can you synchronize the movements with your breath? So maybe rounding on the exhale and arching on the inhale. Okay. Come back to a neutral tabletop position. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Lower your knees down to the floor. Inhale and arch into your cow. Tops of the feet come down, round back into cat. Come upright in the spine. Walk the hands back towards the back of your mat. Push down into the tops of your feet and lift up your heart. Lift your hips and then lower your hips down. Let's do that one more time. Hands down on the floor under your shoulders. Lift up your hips. And then you'll unwind your right foot, place that foot on the floor under the knee. Be here for just a moment. Keep pushing down into the top of the left foot and lift a little higher through the hips. So you're feeling a stretch through the left quads. And then you'll unwind the left legs, cross left ankle over your right knee. And lift up through your hips. Keep flexing the left ankle, lift a little higher. Lower the hips down to the floor. So we're just going to let the lower body sway side to side. So still in this all fours position, come down to the left with your legs. Inhale, bring your legs up. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, your legs come up. Exhale over to the left. So just twisting through the torso here. Inhale, upright, and exhale over to the right. So you're going to stay to the right, pin the left foot down, walk your hands over to the right, and just lean your upper body over towards the right side. So hopefully what you're feeling is a stretch through the outer left hip here, maybe a little bit into the IT band of the same leg. Maybe even down into the left side of the low back. Let's take the left arm back around. You'll bring your knees back upright. Push into your hands under the shoulders, lift your hips back up. You'll unwind the left foot. And then walk your feet in under you as far as you can, and then push up onto your knees and the balls of the feet. Bring the hands to the back of your hips, lift your heart up into a low camel pose, and then exhale, place your hands down on the floor. Just reposition yourself so you're centered on the mat in a tabletop position, arch through the spine on the inhale, and downward facing dog on the exhale. Let's be here for a few breaths. You can walk out through the feet if the back of your calves or ankles are feeling stiff. Just pretend that you're, with every little movement you do here, you're getting more lubrication into the joints, into the muscle fibers. And then be still. Be still in your downward dog. You can close the eyes if you wish and just feel the breath moving into the sides of your ribs, to the back of your ribs. One more breath. Lower the knees down softly to the floor. Arch your spine on the inhale. Settle back to child's pose. Hips back over your heels. Walk your hands back towards the back of your mat. You're upright in the spine. The hands are under your shoulders. Push down into the tops of your feet. Lift your hips up. Unwind your left foot out from under you. Just place it under the knee and lift a little higher through the hips. So you're pushing down into the top of the right foot to feel the stretch through the right quadriceps. And then you'll unwind your right foot as well and cross the ankle over the left knee. Keep the hips up high for another breath. Keep the right ankle flexed. And lower your hips down to the floor. Okay, lower both of your legs over to the left, coming into the twist. Inhale, your legs come back up. Exhale, lower both of your legs to the right. You're just rolling to the inner and outer side of your left foot. Come back upright. Lower down to the right, left. Inhale your legs up and lower your legs to the right. Inhale up. Now you'll come over to the left and you'll stay here. You're going to plant the right foot down. Bring both of your hands over to the left side and just let your upper body lean over to the left. You have your right knee pointing up. The shoulder is coming down inside the knee. Your face is moving closer towards the floor. Come back upright. Bring the right hand back around behind you and your legs come back up. Okay, lift up your hips. Unwind the right foot, bring it to the floor, and then walk your feet under you as far as they'll go. Start to shift forward onto your knees. Come upright into a low camel pose, hands on the back of your hips, elbows point back, heart lifts up, leg thighs are firm, and they're drawing upwards, and then hands come to the floor. And just step back to plank pose. Fingers are spread under your shoulders. Inhale here. Lower the knees down and come all the way down to your belly for cobra pose. Tops of the feet down, roll the shoulders back. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower down. Let's do that 2 more times. Roll the shoulders back, push the feet down. Inhale, cobra pose. Tailbone reaches down. Exhale, lower your chest back down. 1 more time. Roll the shoulders. Inhale, cobra. Keep your legs firm. They're like your tree roots. And then lower your chest back down. Push up to all fours, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. Make your feet even, inner edges of your feet are parallel. Pretend you're squeezing a block between your feet, and then feel the inseam of your legs start to fire up. Look forward, lift your heels, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Fold on the exhale, be here for a couple of more breaths. If the hands don't touch the floor readily here, bring your hands onto blocks. Push the four corners of your feet down. And then push down more into the feet, bend your knees, rise up to stand, arms reach up, inhale. Hands to the heart, exhale. Okay, we'll begin some flow here. Lower the arms down. Inhale, reach out and up with your arms. Exhale, come forward and down. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway forward. Step the right foot back to a lunge. Rise up through the arms, crescent warrior. Be here for one more breath. Inhale. And then pivot to the right, turn your toes out a little bit, bend into the right knee. So it's just halfway into a side lunge. Come up with the arms, bend into the left knee and sweep your arms over to the right. Inhale, reach up through the arms. Bend the right knee, reach your arms over to the front of the mat. And then put all the weight into your right foot and lift up your left leg. Arms reach up. Now here's the key. We're going to step this left foot back down softly. So use your core so it doesn't just thud down on the ground. Bend the left knee, reach your arms over to the right. Inhale, straighten legs, arms up. Exhale, bend right knee, reach to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the left knee, arms to the right. Stay here. Push down into your left foot and reach up. Oops, lift up through your right leg, arms up. And then place the right foot down softly. Bend the right knee, arms left. We'll do this one more time. Inhale up. Bend the left knee, arms to the right. Inhale up. Bend the right knee, stay here. Push down into the right foot. Lift up your left leg. Hover, hover, hover. Arms up. Place the left foot down. Stay here. Down into this side lunge, but it's just a partial side lunge. You don't bring the hips all the way down towards the heel. Just stick your butt back behind you. Push the hands straight down onto the thigh. Start to turn your left toes, your left foot forward. So the toes point up and the sole of the foot faces the front of your mat. And then start to lower your left foot and shift into a warrior two. So you straighten now the back leg and bend your front knee. Your back foot is slightly angled. Reach up through the arms. Virabhadrasana 1. All right, lift up through the lower belly. Tailbone descends. Let's do a little flow from here. So reach up on the inhale. Straighten your front leg, sweep the arms back behind you, hinge forward. Bend the front knee, inhale, warrior one, arms reach up. Exhale, your front leg straightens, hinge forward, arms sweep back behind you. One more time, inhale, bend the front knee, arms reach up, warrior one. Exhale, straighten the front leg, lower your hands down, pyramid pose. Hands can be on blocks if you prefer. Hop your back foot in another inch or two. Make sure there's a little bit of a lateral channel between your feet. So if you were to draw a line from the center of the front of your mat down to the center of the back of the mat, your feet would not be on that line. One left foot is to the left, right foot is to the right. Now I'm going to grab my block for this one. Revolve triangle, right hand under the block, left arm reaches up. Revolve to the left. Parivrita Trikonasana. Keep moving your outer left hip back. Can you push the back heel down? Gets a little squirrely, the back heel, so can you push it down? Reach the spine forward. Lower your left hand down, bend that knee. Maybe send the right foot back so you're in a true runner's lunge. We're going to take this back to three-legged dog. So push the hands down. Inhale, left leg rises back behind you. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the left knee and point it forward in a plank pose. One-legged plank. Inhale, left leg rises back behind you. Three-legged dog. Exhale, point the left knee to the right elbow in a plank pose. Inhale, one more time, left leg behind you. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. You're gonna lower the inner edge of your right heel down and send your left foot over to the right, beyond the side of your mat. Reach your right arm up, fall in triangle. You're going to slide the left heel away from you and lower the hips to the floor. Swing low to the ground towards your back leg. Place your right hand down outside the hip. Reach your left arm up. If you choose, lift your hips up as well. Lower the hips down. Swing low to the ground towards the front of your mat. Place the hands shoulder distance apart. Curl your back toes under. You're going to slide the center of the outer left hip directly under you, and then lower your chest down. Your elbows bend back. Maybe even look to the left. So you have your left leg over to the right, and you're getting yourself low to the floor. This is a big IT stretch, IT band. Press up onto straight arms. Lift your hips, swing the left leg out from under you, lift it up into the air. Open that left hip up, bend the knee, scorpion dog, and then wild thing. So you're going to take the top foot down to the floor behind you, lift up through your hips and look back, reach through your top arm. Lower your right hip all the way down, nice and slow. And then we'll come and we'll stack ourselves on our side. So you're on the right hip. Legs are towards the back of your mat. And you've got the forearm under you. Let's hover both of the legs. So starting to feel this top waistline, the obliques starting to engage. We're going to engage them even more. Lift your top leg straight up. You have the toes and the knee turned out. Lift your bottom leg up. Lower your bottom leg. Lower your top leg. Lift the top leg. Lift the bottom leg. Lower the bottom. Lower the top. One more. Lift the top. Lift the bottom. Lower the bottom leg. Lower the top leg. Come back up onto your hands. You're going to lift your top leg and place the foot to the floor just in front of your bottom thigh, your right thigh. So you have the heel right up against the mid thigh. And then walk your hands so they're under you and hinge yourself forward or lean forward. So this top leg is your left leg, the knee is pointing up and you're pushing down through the foot and you're reaching your body forward. You're reaching your spine perpendicular to your back leg. Let's lift ourselves up, hands to the front of the mat. Just pivot on the ball of your left foot and send it back to a plank pose. Inhale here in plank, shift forward. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Find your breath here. Get some space in the upper back, right where it meets the base of your neck. See if you can create some space there. But at the same time, you're creating structure in your outer upper arms, your triceps area. Those are hugging in, and you're getting space in the upper back and the base of the neck at the same time. Lift your heels, look forward, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, feet remain hips distance apart. Push down into the feet and rise up to stand. Inhale, the arms reach up, and hands to your heart, exhale. Okay, just stay here for one breath. Inhale, and exhale. Lower the arms by your side. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, forward and down. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach halfway forward. Step your left foot back to a lunge. Rise up through the arms, crescent warrior. One more breath here. Inhale. And then pivot both of your feet towards the left and just side lunge into your back leg, your left leg. Reach your arms to the front. Inhale, reach up through the arms, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the right knee, reach your arms back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the left knee, reach your arms to the front, and then push all the way down into your left foot and lift your right leg up. Now we're going to place this foot down softly. Don't let it just slam back down to the floor. Bend the right knee, reach your arms left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the left knee, reach your arms right, inhale, up. Exhale, bend the right knee, stay here. Arms up and pick up your back leg. Whoops, there goes my balance. Hover, place the foot down. Bend the left knee, reach the arms right. Inhale up. Bend the right knee, arms to the back, inhale up. Last time doing this, balancing, bend the left knee and hover your right leg. Hover, 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 hover. Place the foot down, stay here. Place the hands just above the knee of your left leg. Stick the butt back a little bit. So your right leg is straight, straight, straight. Start to turn the toes up. So it's a big external rotation in the right leg, and the sole of the foot is facing the front of your mat. And then you're just going to place the foot down, turn to face the front. Warrior one. Adjust the back foot so the back foot's at a little bit of an angle, and reach your arms up. Warrior one. Be here. Lift up through the low belly. Imagine you've got a big dinosaur tail, a big heavy dinosaur tail, just reaching down your back leg. All right, straighten your front leg, exhale, sweep the arms back behind you, lean forward, bend the front knee again, inhale, your arms reach up 2 more times. Exhale, straighten the front leg, sweep the arms back behind you, spine is parallel to the floor, and then rise back up on the inhale, push into the back foot. Exhale, straighten the front leg and then lower your hands all the way down, pyramid pose. So it's common to have more tightness on one side of the body than the other. If this side feels tighter, your hamstrings on the right leg, then please use the blocks under your hands. It's fun. You might notice I'm up on my finger pads. I feel like this right leg is a little tighter than my left leg today. It's common. So I'm up a little higher on my hands. And I will grab the block, forward revolve, triangle pose. Block is under the left hand, right arm reaches up, twist to the right. Your right hip is going to want to move forward in this twist, so keep pressing it back. Keep that length in the outer right leg and push down through the inner ball of your right foot. Keep weight in the back heel if you can. And then reach the spine forward. Imagine someone has a hold of the side of your hips and they're pulling your hips back, and your job is to reach your spine forward. Lower the right hand down. Let's bend this front knee. We're going to come to three-legged dog, so adjust your left foot back a little farther, and then push into your hands, take your right leg up into three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the right knee and point it forward in a plank pose. Inhale, take your right leg back behind you. Exhale, point your right knee to the left elbow. Can you tap it? Inhale, right leg back behind you. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. And then take the inner heel of your back foot down and your right leg over to the left. Reach up through your top arm, fallen triangle, and then slide your right heel away from you until the hips lower down. Swing your upper body low to the ground towards the back. Left hand under you, right arm reaches up. Perhaps lift up through the hips. Lower the hips down. Swing low to the ground, back to the front. Place the hands right under your shoulders and curl your back toes under. Lift the hips up just enough so you bring the center of the outer thigh under you, and then lower your chest down, maybe look towards the right. Keep reaching out through the back heel. So the heel is pointing up on your back foot. Straighten your arms. Lift your hips, unwind the right leg, reach it up into the air behind you, open the hip and bend the knee. Scorpion dog. And then to flip this into a wild thing, just start to roll onto your, kind of pivoting on the ball of your left foot until the right foot comes to the floor behind you. Slow, controlled movement. Place the foot down softly. Lift up through your hips, reach up and out through your top arm. Maybe straighten your bottom leg. And then you'll lower all the way down onto this left hip and stack your legs, come down onto the left forearm. All right, once you have your legs stacked, reaching towards the back of your mat, you lift both of your legs up simultaneously. You're already feeling this top waistline, the obliques going going to work here. And then let's lift the top leg up, lift the bottom leg, lower the bottom leg, lower the top leg. Keep the knees pointing out to the side. Lift the top leg, and then the bottom leg. Lower the bottom leg, lower the top leg. One more time. Lift the top, lift the bottom, lower the bottom, lower the top. Come up onto your hands, and then lift your right knee up and place the foot down. Just, it intersects with the center of your bottom thigh. And then walk your hands over to the right. Lean your spine forward so it's perpendicular to your bottom leg. So your crown of your head is reaching towards the side wall. Bottom leg is reaching towards the back wall. Your right knee is pointing up to the ceiling. Come back upright. All right, so let's just place the hands towards the front of the mat. You're going to pivot on the ball of the right foot and step it back to a plank pose. One more vinyasa here. Inhale, shift forward, lower chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push into the tops of the feet, shoulders back, and roll over the toes, downward facing dog as you exhale. Breathe here for a moment. Let's explore that step pose where we were lying on one hip. So step the right foot forward. Pivot your feet towards the left, so now you are truly in a side lunge. And then pivot back towards the front. And now turn your right toes to the right. Come onto the outer edge of the back foot. Start to lower down onto your left hip. Heel toe your right foot down so the hip can come down. And bring the right heel so it's in line with the middle of your left thigh. Walk your hands forward. So this is where we were. Remember? We were reaching our spine perpendicular to the bottom leg. Now I'm going to take the right hand and reach for my back foot. And see if you can hold on to the toe, big toe. And then this left hand is going to come right under the shoulder. So we're coming towards an arm balance. So we're going to be on the left hand and the right foot. So make sure the foot is under the knee and the hand is under the shoulder. We lean forward, actually just to see what it feels like to pick the foot up. Lean back a little bit and try to keep the hips down, but just pick the leg up. That's where we're going. It's also a big IT band stretch on this bottom leg. So instead of lifting up through the leg, we're going to lift up through the hips as we lean the upper body forward. So lean forward, push down into the left hand, right foot, and then see if you can pick your bottom hip up and leaning forward. Chaturanga arms on your left arm. Your leg, your hip is off the floor, and then lower yourself down. All right, take your hands to the front of the mat. You're just going to pivot on the ball of your right foot and step it back, downward dog. Side. All right. So now, left foot steps forward, under the knee. Just pivot your toes towards the left. Come into a side lunge, bend in the left knee, straight through the right leg. And then turn to face the front again, runner's lunge. And now our feet are going to rotate the other way. So rotate your left toes out, come onto the outer edge of your back foot. And in order to get this hip down, you heel toe your left foot down until the hip can come down comfortably and you're not straining this knee. And then I'm going to hold onto the ankle and slide the heel right up against the middle of the bottom thigh. Bring your hands forward towards the long edge of your mat and lean forward. So this is where we were in our flow. And now we're going to see if we can come into this arm balance. So right hand is going to stay under the shoulder. We're going to spread these fingers because this is going to be a foundation. And then the left foot is also a foundation. So I want the knee directly up over the heel. I'm going to reach my left hand over towards my back foot. Be here a moment. Maybe this is enough for you, just staying here, leaning forward, putting weight into that one hand and foot, and see if you can just get a nice stretch through the IT band, maybe through the low back as well. Or if you want to go for the arm balance, push down into the hand of the foot, kind of push out through the foot into your other hand, and then lift up through the hips. And you're just hovering here. Hovering your whole bottom leg and hip. And then lower it down. Hands to the front of the mat. Pivot on the ball of the left foot, and just come into a downward dog. Toes reach forward. Hands push into the floor. Lower your knees down, take them wide, big toes together, child's pose. All right. From child's pose, let's rise back up to all fours. Okay, so bring your knees together and take your feet out a little wider towards the edges of the mat. And then just sit, actually before we sit down between the feet, let's press the hands down onto this flesh of the calf muscles. So we're trying to pancake those calf muscles down. They could maybe just sort of get in the ways of our knees bending deeply here. So we're going to lower the hips down between the feet. Now, I mentioned to bring your feet as wide as the mat. I'm going to take that back a little bit. Let's actually take the feet in just narrow enough so that when your hips lower down, pelvis to the floor, your outer heels are right up against, your inner heels are right up against your outer hips. And if your sit bones don't come to the floor here, then you can grab one of your blocks and place that between your feet and then sit on your block. So this is our hero pose. All 10 toenails are down on the floor and the soles of the feet are facing up. So if you are feeling any discomfort in your knees here, or if it's just too much of a quad stretch, then grab a second block and place that underneath you as well. So you have 2 stacked blocks. Maybe you can add a blanket to that as well. If it's still not working for you, just come to a cross-legged position. We won't be here for very long. If you can bring your sit bones all the way down to the floor, and I mean really all the way down, not just hovering an inch off the floor, because that'll put some strain on your knees. All the way down. Then can you bring the hands back behind you and start to lean your upper body back a little bit, and this is going to, you'll feel this more and more in your quadriceps as you start to lean back. Maybe the forearms can come down. And again, just double check with yourself, is your butt all the way down on the floor? If it's not, that could create some pressure on the knees. So put something underneath you, under your seat, and then just stay a little farther upright. Try to press the pinky toenail down on the floor. And then try to scoot your tailbone to point towards the front of the mat. So it's a little bit of a tuck of the pelvis underneath you. And then let's walk ourselves back up. We're going to unravel the right leg. So just lean over to the left and swing your right leg forward. Okay, we're going to come into heron pose, Krunchasana. This is going to be a hamstring stretch on the right side. So if the hamstrings are tight, if you have a belt handy or something that you can help to connect the hand to the foot, we were going to bring the leg up in the air. So bend the knee. Hold on to the outside of the right foot and then lift the leg up at an angle, about a 45-degree angle. Now try not to round through the spine, lift through the spine. Can you hold the inner edge of your foot with your other hand? Lift up through the spine, keep pushing down through the toenails of your left foot. Lifting the spine, reaching up long through the leg. And remember, if you have a strap or even a hand towel, something to connect the hand to the foot if holding the foot is not accessible to you. And then let's start to bend the right knee again. Bring your knee out to the right. Bring your foot over towards the left front of the hip, this front hip point. Bring the heel towards the hip. So I'm going to bring my right hand underneath the foot. and I'm bringing the heel towards my left front hip point, and the back of the foot, the top of the foot comes down into the thigh crease, the left thigh crease. We are moving into a half lotus position. And you might see that I'm lifting my left sit bone up off the floor here so that I can bring this right knee down. If it doesn't come down, try placing a block under the knee. Again, we want to create some support here. And then we'll twist this to the right. If you have long arms, you might be able, and you have your right foot really snug in this left thigh crease here, you might be able to reach your right hand around and hold on to the right foot. And if not, I have the left hand just wrapped around the toes of the right foot. And I'm going to see if I can connect my fingers from there and then twist upper body to the right. And remember, you're going to have your left sit bone up here, so you're trying to lean this whole right hip and thigh down, lift up through the spine as you twist to the right. So we're half lotus on the right side, half hero pose on the left side, and then adding a twist to it. This is a half bound lotus, revolved half bound lotus variation. Let's come back through center. Okay, we're going to unwind this carefully and bring your right shin down. So I'm going to put my hands forward, bring the right shin down, bring all 10 toenails down. As I sit back on that right heel, bring the left leg forward. Now the sit bones come all the way down to the floor, and you have the right inner heel up against the right outer hip. Left knee is bent, hold on to the inner edge of the left foot and come on up. Now maybe you can hold the foot but not straighten the leg. Okay, we're not being precise. Just do what you can do. Either you go for straight leg but you have something, a prop you're using to hold the foot if you can't reach it with your hands, or you just go for bent leg and you're just holding the foot with your right hand. That's fine. Modify as you need to. If you can, you hold inner and outer edge of the foot, one side with each hand, and then lift up the spine, lift up through the leg. Maybe there's a slight bend in the knee, maybe the leg is straight. We're all going to show the poses a little differently in our body. We want to work on that lift, upward lift. The shoulder blades down the back. Now let's bend this left knee. I'm going to bring the knee out to the left. I'm going to hold the heel, the outer heel with the right hand. Cup the left hand under the ankle. Start to move the left heel towards the right front hip point. I'm going to try to bring the top of the foot towards the thigh crease. So I'm turning the sole of the foot up, and notice I move this in stages. I don't just try to jam the foot in place in the thigh crease. I'm working it in there just gradually, and then I lean over onto the left hip so the right sit bone will come up. Maybe the left arm can wrap around. On this side, I must have a longer left arm. Either that or my spine can twist more this way. If your left hand can come around and hold on to the left foot, cool. If not, what I would do with my right hand is just wrap it around the toes and then use my fingers to connect left hand to right hand as I twist. Right? So either holding the foot or finding some way, if you do have that strap or a hand towel or something handy, you can wrap that around your left foot and then hold it in your left hand. And then we're going to twist to the left. And I have the right hand to the outer left knee. As I twist, I'm leaning down onto the left hip. Breathing here, spine is tall. And then unwind your pose. Okay. So lotus is a pretty intense pose, so we'll come slowly out of it. And then you'll just come down onto your back. All the way down onto your back, and then just once you get there, hug the legs in towards you. Let's just release through the ankles a little bit because they were in a pretty deep position there in lotus pose. So let's reach the legs up into the air and rotate the ankles around. And let's get into the wrists while we're at it. Reach your arms up to vertical and rotate through your wrists and your ankles at the same time. Rotate around the other way. Hug the legs back in towards you, and then we will finish up in a restorative position in lieu of Shavasana. So soles of the feet together, knees come out wide. So this is our Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound ankle pose, also known as reclined butterfly. You can place your blocks under each thigh if you would like more support for the inner hips. And the hands can rest wherever they're comfortable. I have my hands just on my lower abdomen so I can sense the breath. Let your eyes close here. Let the body really relax. Your only experience right now is watching your breath. Observing the physical body relaxing. Let the breath be natural. Don't try to exaggerate the length of it. Three more breaths here through the nose, smooth and even. At the end of this exhale here, bring your hands to the back of your thighs, outer edges of your thighs, draw your knees together, roll over to one side, press yourself up and come to seated. Alright, hands together at the heart, close your eyes, bow your head to your heart, and lift your gaze. I thank you for joining me for this practice, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.